Hello everyone, Bard here, and welcome to the last installment of Sulli-Ween. Most of the movies people watch around Halloween are mainly horror related, but there are a fair amount of family films for the holiday. Some of them are not the best for my taste, but they have themes and ideas that not only feature characters or creatures associated with Halloween, but they might feature the holiday as well, and they can be perfect to watch during the season as much as any day of the year. And today's movie is certainly that. It has lots of Halloween fun, but it also has an on-again, off-again quality every time I see it. And that movie is Hocus Pocus. In 1693 in Salem, Massachusetts, three witches named the Sanderson sisters, Winifred, Sarah, and Mary, use a spell book to make a potion that brings out the lives of children to make them younger. But when a teen named Zachary Binks comes in to stop them for taking his sister they lured, the witches cast a spell on him that makes him immortal, but as a black cat. Soon the three are found, and before they become hanged, they place a curse on the town, saying that if a virgin lights what's known as the Black Flame Candle on Halloween night, they will return from beyond the grave to continue taking children's lives. 300 years later, a teen named Max Dennison doesn't believe in the legend until he lights the candle and brings the witches back. So Max, along with his sister Danny, his friend Allison, and Zachary Binks' cat, takes the spell book from the witches and tries to figure out how to stop them. All while the witches encounter things they don't know or think they know as they chase after their heroes to get their book back. Gosh, they better stop making these plots too long yet keeping them simple. But with that said, the hero story is not that engaging. Mainly because Max is pretty bland to me. Things never go his way, and scenes of him being picked on or not being believed is tiring. Of course he moved from Los Angeles to Salem and hates the new life, which is understandable, but after a week or two there, you really should get used to it and not continue complaining about it. And some of the other characters aren't that strong. Danny, Allison, the parents, the bullies Jay and Ice, they either come off as uninteresting or even annoying. Likewise with its effects. Some of them are fine, but the CGI is not that well rendered, mostly with the Zachary Binks cat. His expressions and movements are just too awkward and weird. I know it's supposed to be a CG face on a real cat body, but the effect is too distracting to notice it. But is there anything decent about this film? Well, there are plenty of good things to like in this. Like the practical effects, the witches flying on the brooms, the graveyard shaking, and the cat coming back to life. They do feel like they're happening on the scene, and I'm right along with it. There's also lots of Halloween going on. From the trick-or-treating, to the costumes, to the parties, and to the overall feel of it. The holiday itself makes me feel like a kid doing what every kid in this film is doing. Except for the tricking and partying. And the best thing of all in this film are the Sanderson sisters. These three witches are really fun to watch as they come across things they never seen and think they know who or what they knew turns out to be false. And each one has a distinct personality. Winifred's the leader of them and makes most of the spells and potions. She's often strict about getting things done and does whatever it takes to get what she needs. Mary is the right hand of Winifred, for the most part. She does have some funny moments, especially when trying to change the channel on a woman, and she has a strong sense in smelling children. Yet she becomes the soft-spoken of the three by means of keeping Winifred calm in stressful or depressing situations. And Sarah is the eccentric yet ditzy type of them. She does seem attuned to lure children to the witch's house, but most of the time, she acts in an almost seductive manner that's not too over the top or too stale. It's a bizarre mix of the two. At least that's the best way I can describe her. Yet she does have her silly moments too, and they are as silly as they can be. But altogether, the witches are lots of fun, making plenty of nice comedy all around and are more entertaining than the main heroes. Also, as a brief mention, while John Demdy composed the music for the film, the song Sarah sings, Come Little Children, is composed by the late James Horner. This is a pretty underrated piece he did, and it's a nice one, despite it being about a minute long. As for the actors playing the characters, some are good, but some not so much. Bette Midler plays Winifred Winnie Sanderson, Sarah Jessica Parker plays Sarah Sanderson, Kathy Najimy plays Mary Sanderson, Thora Birch plays Danny Dennison, Vanessa Shaw plays Allison, Omri Katz plays Max Dennison, Sean Murray plays Zachary Binks, Jason Marsden voices Zachary Binks' cat, and Doug Jones plays Billy Butcherson. Oh, and there's also 2 uncredited roles I'd like to mention, which are Gary Marshall plays Devil Husband, and Penny Marshall plays his wife. As a whole, this movie is fine. The characters, though some, are good, the story is fine, and the effects are pretty much okay. Director Kenny Ortega did a fairly decent job at making a movie of witches coming into the 20th century, and some of the silly antics they make when encountering something unknown to them, or think they know what one thing is when it really isn't. But the main hero is pretty bland, and his little adventure is nothing special, and the CGI effects are just weird. Yet it's mostly a product of the times, and sometimes it doesn't help. However, the witches are enjoyable to watch, the practical effects are decent, and the feeling of Halloween is like in every corner. While it has an on-again off-again quality each time I watch it, it's still an okay flick for the Halloween season. And there's nothing wrong with that. So today, this movie we're giving a rating of 2.5+ stars. Isn't that right, Mr. Nobody?
That's right.
Of course. So, yeah! How is this possible? I cheated like twice!
You can't kill somebody who makes many comebacks, even if I'm used for Halloween.
Well, it's pretty much tradition. And speaking of which, I'm going to continue that tradition by using my magic wand. Aha!
Now you shall pay for what you've done.
Hey, I just want to wish everyone a happy... Mr. Holiday, can you help me? By getting rid of him? Sure thing. Thank you, Mr. Holiday. But now I have no one to do my reviews. Hey, don't worry! I have an extra one. Oh wow, it looks exactly like my old one. Well, it's actually the same. Would you join me in saying goodbye? Nah, I gotta wish everyone a happy Halloween before November kicks in. Don't want to be behind. Okay. Happy Halloween! So that is it for Sulli-Ween. Thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and, like Mr. Holiday said, Happy Halloween.